What an insane week, and here we are on a Friday retesting the bottom of the range. Are the buyers going to step back in, or are we finally going to break down and head lower? I would definitely be very cautious. Every time we've come down to this range previously, we've had an aggressive bottom wick as buyers drive price right back into the range. However, we know the market likes to do pretty much the exact opposite of what everyone thinks. Everyone has been super bearish, and the fear and greed index is shifted heavily toward fear, so I would not be surprised if we did get a little bit of a relief bounce before heading lower. And I think retesting 24,400 or 24,300 before heading lower definitely makes a lot of sense, but we will see. We could just rally all the way back into the range and go retest 25,200. And the interesting thing about that is if we look at the SPY chart, SPY was much weaker than Nasdaq. We broke below those previous lows right around 655, which could align perfectly with a retest of those lows and continued breakdown all the way back down to that 635 level. So definitely let me know down in the comments below. Do you think we'll retest 635 on SPY before we get back above like that 660 area and head back toward all-time highs? I think watching oil prices is going to give us that direction. If we do hold above 100 and break back towards that 120 level, we're likely to see more downside in the market. If oil does reject 100 and comes back down toward 80 or even that 70 level, then we'll likely get a little bit of a relief bounce in the market before potentially heading back lower. Not only is the market at a key decision point, but also a lot of stocks like Nike could potentially be at a double bottom here. If you look at the chart for a lot of these tech stocks like Amazon, you can also see we're kind of coming into some previous levels of support. Now, in my last video, I did talk about this being a bear flag, and it did play out. We're heading down toward those next support levels. So it'll be very interesting to see, do we get a little bit of a bounce off that next support level, or do we continue heading lower? And one key area I'll be watching is right around that 194. We had that gap up last year, and we have not fully filled that gap. And gaps like this in the chart tend to get filled, so I would definitely be careful if you're trying to short into that level. If you're looking for a long position, that could be an area that gets pretty interesting. Now, if we hop over to Tesla, we can see that Tesla has been very weak. We did break the bottom. That was like a triple bottom kind of area that we did break toward the downside with the next level of support at these previous highs, which is right around 355. And then we have a level all the way down to right around 340. So definitely be watching those levels. These are the kind of pullbacks that we usually will look at in a year and be like, dang, I really wish I would have bought there. So obviously this is not financial advice, but these levels are looking pretty interesting. If we take a look at Nvidia, you can also see we're starting to come back into that key level of support. Now, if we do break that key level of support, we could definitely continue a lot lower. So that 170, 171 is going to be very key. And then the next support would be right around 164. And then from there, we could retrace all the way back down to the 150s. It's a similar story for Microsoft, but you can see we already filled that previous gap. So we had that gap up right around the same time Nvidia did back in May of last year. We are below it and we are kind of rejecting it. So Microsoft is looking a lot weaker. You can clearly see the next level of support is right around that 360. So if we do stay weak and reject right under that 381, that would be the most likely next target. And lastly, if we take a look at the Qs, as I mentioned, this chart is a little bit stronger than SPY, as SPY did close below those previous lows, but QQQ did reclaim right before the close on Friday. Now, I do think Trump did make a tweet about like winding things down in Iran, so that I do believe is what caused the bounce. But any new news that comes out this week, or watching the oil prices and just kind of seeing where those go, will determine if we do get another bounce right back into the range, or if we do start to test the bottom levels right around 560, and then we have another level all the way down toward 540. As always, none of this is financial advice, but I'm definitely curious to see what you guys think the market is going to do in this upcoming week, so drop some comments down below.